it's time for you to influence the world. You can't say it because you don't come across this word. It's too heavy for us. When we go to school, they only taught us to just cram and put all the things on our head and go and digest and release when we are writing examination, but they don't train us to influence. They don't train us to influence. Tell your neighbor, it's time to influence the world. Say it very well. So that's why at times when I look at some pastors who are doing some certain things that are uncalled for, that they are trapped in some certain things, immoralities, or some certain scandal, I watch, why did you accept the profession? You don't know the consequence, what goes with the profession. I always tell some people, somebody said, I want to be a pastor. You believe pastoral work is a fun? It's one of the most dangerous work you can never come across. Or you want to marry a pastor, then you must be ready for a lonely life. You want to be a flamboyant woman, then you have made a mistake to marry that pastor. You want all your nails to be very long so that you attend all the parties in the world, you have made a mistake. That's not the life of a pastor. The life of a pastor is an isolated life. You can't attend the party that you are attending. I can't attend the party you are attending. I can't go to some function you are going. I can't step into some places that you step to. Why? Because of the profession that I've accepted to take and to do for my Father. And the assignment that He has sent me to come and influence my generation. So I must be able to keep myself to some certain level. Because the moment I pollute myself, then I cannot influence you anymore. So that's why you see some women when they admire pastor because he's putting on, okay, I'm putting on suit now and look so nice as if I'm an American man. But it's a lie. I'm from Africa. But I put on this one because the weather is a bit cold and every morning I feel cold a little bit. We all have different nature. But you may think maybe I just dress because I want to become stylish. No. Because the weather, the temperature has changed. The weather has changed. For the past 2 weeks now, by 4 a.m. I start to feel cold. I feel it in my bone. And because I'm not too young and I'm not too old, but I'm in the middle. So it's different from you. So I dress like this now. Somebody say, oh, I'm going to dress like this the way pastor dressed last week. You don't know the reason why pastor dressed like this today. So you must understand all these things. Many of us, even at times the Christianity we are professing in Africa, we don't even understand it. The white just brought it to us and we don't ask series of questions, we don't pray very well, we just accepted it and we are too dogmatic. And people are doing things the way they're not supposed to do it. But you must be a man and a woman of influence. When you start to influence your generation, mighty things happen. For the earnest expectation of the creature, they are waiting for the manifestation. Why all this groaning? I'll show you now. In Africa, why all this groaning? Why? Do you know how many of African citizens that have died at the Mediterranean just because they wanted to go and seek for greener pasture? about 200, 300 people in a small boat and cross the Mediterranean to get to Italy so that they can enter Europe and just do any job so that they can survive. And they capsize. Of recent, about 4 days or a week, a woman that is also pregnant, that had a baby, also was trying as an immigrant, and the ship capsized. And I wonder, I said, what is happening? What is happening to this generation? What is happening to this continent? Where are the people who will influence us? Where are the people who will lead us? Why all this groaning? When you see groaning, pain, anarchy, chaos everywhere, one thing is lacking: nobody to influence. Maybe I'm lying. Let's see what Paul said. Romans 8 from verse 19. How can some people, somebody that is 5 senses are working very well, and you can migrate from here, you say you are going to Libya, and when they get to when they arrive at Libya, Libyan people now saw them and said, we are going to sell you as a slave for $500. Where are the people who will influence our generation? Where are the leaders, political leaders, religious leaders, fathers who will influence our generation? Because if people are influencing us, an able-bodied man, an African man that saw his African colleagues will not raise up his hand or her hand and said, I'm going to sell you for $500. And they are using the axe to cut an able-bodied person that we are of the same continent, the same body, the same color, the same blood. And we go to church and we are shouting hallelujah, we are shouting, and people go to mosque and we are shouting all kinds of things. What type of things are we shouting at? God in heaven is looking at us and we are wasting time. And it's so barbaric in this civilized moment. In this 21st century, somebody is just in their need because of $200 or €200. He doesn't care to cross the Mediterranean Sea, whether he died or he survived. He doesn't care anymore. Whereas if we have people who can influence us and tell us, you have a gift inside you, nurture the gifts. Bring the gift to the limelight, and that gift will also speak volume and help the people in your community. Not until when we go to Europe and wash the toilet of the white man, or when we run to abroad and we go or we stow away or hide ourselves inside the engine. Can you imagine a boy that hid himself in the propeller of an aeroplane? Where are the people influencing this generation? Messages coming on the podium in these last days never influence us anymore. It's only for the pastors to be talking about the wristwatch that is using that is worth 1 million. What does that got to do with you? Will that put food on your table? Or the pastor saying, can you see my shoe? It's worth $500. What does that got to do with the congregation? Is that pastor telling the congregation that why can't we go and cultivate so many lands and let us have orange plantation? So that if we have about 1,000 hectares of land, we planted oranges and we now start to bring machine and squeeze them, we can also begin to box orange and start to say made in Ghana and send it to other world. And there are so many poison they have given to many of us to consume, and we are saying, hey, right on, Pastor. Many poison they are giving to us, and we are saying, hey, he's an anointed person. Which anointing? What type of anointing is that? Just a bloodline. And when you go and get back home, your wife said, we had no money for to pay the school fees. So, then, but you have shouted at the church. But your eyes were not open that you have a gift in you. Let that gift be unveiled, and let that gift come to limelight, and use that gift to solve people's problems. That man did not tell you that you should make yourself valuable so that wherever you are, even if you are Tema, they will look for you. I was citing an example the day I was preaching about valuable. I said, if you have a toothache and the dentist, you have a dentist here as a pastor, and if it's a Tema, you don't care. You go there. Even if they say there's only one dentist in the whole Ghana, and this dentist is living at the north, you will take transport there because you'll be holding your mouth like this. It's too valuable because it's the only one that can excavate it. Can you excavate it yourself? Try it and see what will happen. So you see now that many of us, most of the places we call churches, what are most of the things that we thought we are doing, or we are serving God, we are just wasting time. We are not doing anything. That's why you can see groaning everywhere. Groaning everywhere. I want to speak to people. When you find yourself in another nation, make yourself a good ambassador there. Once you make yourself a good ambassador there, nobody will harass you. But if you don't make yourself a good ambassador there, that nation has their rules and regulations. The laws of the land will cut up with you. And if you are the indigent, don't see all aliens as fools. All aliens cannot be criminals. All aliens cannot be thieves. All aliens cannot be kidnappers. Because those aliens, if you send them out of your nation, most of the houses that the landlord and people who call themselves landlord, the Lord was speaking to me one day. I said, why should you call yourself a landlord? It's a complete wrong thing. Who is the landlord? God is the landlord. So if you stand away all the foreigners and the aliens and you say they should go out and they left you as a citizen, can you rent the house for 40,000 Ghana cedis? Or 4,000 Ghana cedis? If you have 4,000 or 100,000 Ghana cedis, won't you go and develop your own father's land or your own land? We need to think and influence ourselves now. And we need to put our tribal sentiment. This one is from Nigeria, this one is from Ghana, this one is from is an Ashanti, this one is an Ebe, this one is a Gan, this one is this. We will never go forward if we are doing this. We will remain. Can't you see poverty hovering everywhere? Can't you see pain and groaning? Can't you see suffering everywhere? Not only in this nation. Go to anywhere. Last Friday, somebody came to me one day and said I was preaching here and I gave a prophecy concerning the Republic of Benin. I said one day the Lord is going to move and pass through that land and things will change. Because it was regarded as the poorest nation in the world. And the person was telling me on Friday, said, now things have changed. They have increased the salary of all the workers there in that nation times 3. Where that was backward now, life has started to spring up. An influential person has risen up, who can see beyond, who knew that there is potential in his people. And now they are happy now because they can see that the future is bright. Are we influencing ourselves? See what Paul said. Romans 8:19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. I use that sons as sons and daughters in my own paraphrase. Anytime God is speaking, God speaks with plural. And He speaks in a singular way. Because He created us. He doesn't say male and female. He just say man. That's God. That's the way He talks. Then look at verse 20. For the creature was made subject to vanity. Nothing. Not willingly, but by reason of Him who has subjected the same in hope. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. That's why Christ died for you. That's why you are a Christian. You came to this kingdom to learn to become an influential person. When we talk about influential person, somebody thought is somebody who had money, who had looted the government treasury, and now stand before the musician or lady and be spraying like this. That's not what we are talking about. We're talking about people transforming lives, giving hope to those who have lost hope. Mother Teresa did not go to university. She was only teaching primary school students. She did not marry, but she saw some children in India that they were suffering. She said, no, I must leave this teaching job and help these poor, ravaged, wretched people. And her name is ringing bell up to now. Will your name ring bell when you are no more? I pray that your name will ring bell when you are no more. You know, when we talk about School of Wisdom, people don't come. But when people want to come to the main service, where we'll be shouting and be praying, when we call prayer points. If you get all the prayer points and you have prayed and you lack wisdom, it's useless. And look at it before we close and we'll start to worship. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. The whole world creation. The whole creation. They are growing and travailing in pain. They are suffering because no one to stand and say, let's do it right. You know, our knowledge and our assumption now is that if anybody comes and says he's very rich, you don't even want to know where the source of the money is coming from. Maybe it's blood money, you don't care. Just give me money. A Nigerian man will say, just give me a go, just give me money. A Nigerian lady will say, okay, whether the face is ugly, but if the pocket is handsome, let's go on. But one day money will finish. Write it down. Take it or leave it. One day money will finish. Then when money finish, what are we going to do? Because money is not God. Money is just an ordinary paper that they have just used ink and color of something to cover it. But God remains God. Is it not because of money somebody in abroad will now carry gun to the supermarket and say, everybody lie down? And walk straight to the cashier and take all the money and go. If somebody tried to resist, you kill. And that's what many of us think every day. I was sharing something with somebody. I said, where you have small little amount of money and you have peace, and where you have a lot of money and you will die fast, choose one. Where do you like? Where do you like? Maybe I should ask the church also this morning. You have little amount of money, but there is enough peace. But there is another place that money is there, you will have it, but it's not certain whether you can live up till next month. Choose one. Where do you like? Huh? So who brought that peace to you? Jesus Christ. That's why it said in Isaiah 9:6, unto us a son is born, a child is given, and the government of this world shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called a wonderful counselor, the Prince of Peace. That made Jesus to become influential. That made Jesus to become significant. Assuming Jesus, when he was on earth, he was distributing money. You will never be a Christian, so he did not give you money. He gave some people. Listen to me carefully. That's why when I was studying the life of Jesus, it took me some time. I was studying the life of Jesus from the beginning to the end, and I realized that Jesus, since he was born till he died, he did not handle money. Money did not touch his hand. Go and check your Bible very well. That tells you that he came to show you that it's not the significant thing, even though it answered at all things. Jesus, have you ever seen him buying bread anywhere? Did you see him buying drink somewhere? Did you see him buying dresses from somebody? He never handled money. Because he wanted to make himself influential and he wanted to make himself significant for people to know that money you are running after, peace is more important than it. Because if there is peace, you have more time to think, to do mighty things. I'm talking to the church this morning, and the Lord who has brought you here did not bring you by mistake. Let us make ourselves influential, so that we influence the world. How can we make ourselves influential? Except we follow the greatest leader who has laid down the greatest principle for leadership, Jesus Christ. He said, love the Lord your God first. If you love God, then you get out of your bed on Sunday, you get out of the bed very early. Not on Sunday morning, you start to iron your dresses. If you love God, you get to the house of God very early and say, I want to see God first. But I can't blame many people, because some people who call themselves that they are pastor, they are not pastor, they are businessmen. Who bring sweet to you and put it and turn it to money, and everybody's run there to pick their own. Jesus did not give anybody money. Any pastor that stands in a podium and put money on the podium, distributing to the members or giving to the... I said it this morning. Enoch Idowaminu said it. The pastor is a liar. It's not called by God. Let not what your right hand is doing, let not your left hand know. If you want to bless people, let there be an institution in the church and call it a welfare or charity institution to take care of those people. Not those who come and place a lot of money. I've seen some pastors, they say they put 30 million naira on their podium. They put 6 million naira on their podium. They are liars. For peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth. My peace I leave with you. Let not your heart be troubled. John 14, verse 27. That's what Jesus gave. Assuming Jesus gave some people money, I today will not be a Christian because I'll be annoyed with him because he did not give me money. I'll be asking for my own money too. That's the reason he does it. So if I bring money out now, and I call 10 people out, and the money can only serve only 10 people, what about the rest people who are in difficult situation than those 10 people? How will they feel? Didn't they have minds? Didn't they also need money? So you can see the irony now. That some people trying to influence and say they want to influence you in a wrong way. They are just trying to draw attention to themselves by force. And a good leader don't draw attention to themselves by force. They influence you. This morning you have heard it from the throne of grace. I believe God in his infinite mercy, that which he has planted in you, and some powers in father's house, mother's house, environmental, in-laws house, and they don't want that thing to come out. I use Jeremiah's prayer to kill all those powers. And that which God has embedded in you will come to limelight. The world will enjoy you. The world will gain from you. The world will remember you. And the world will know that you have come to help them. Give the Lord a mighty clap. You can do better.